How do you explain that prices in your stores are higher than in your competitors?
These are examples of customers gravitating towards the highest price items when there's a perfectly competitively priced chicken, right next door. We looked at our chicken prices across the entire enterprise and are very confident that we're offering terrific value. As a matter of interest, we lose money on every breast of chicken that we sell.
You say that there's prices of chicken that are fair and reasonable, like sitting side by side the expensive chicken. Then why is the expensive chicken there to begin with?
It's a specialty product.
Well, there you have it. The president's choice himself, Galen Weston, president of Canada's largest supermarket chain, Loblaws, who addressed allegations in a parliamentary hearing that they took advantage of the worst food inflation in 40 years to pad their profits, while a growing number of Canadians struggle to pay their grocery bill. Happy to be joined now by Dr. SYLVAIN CHARLEBOIS, the food professor himself, senior director at the Agri-Food Analytics Lab and professor of the Faculties of Management and Agriculture at Dalhousie University. SYLVAIN, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure.
So, what's your reaction to this grilling we saw yesterday?
Well, actually, it was better than I expected. I expected a political circus, knowing that NDP leader Jackman Singh would be part of the festivities with his pile of emails and questions. The 6 minutes he had was really a waste of time, and unfortunately, he took the time from Alistair McGregor. From his party, who I believe is one of the best members on the committee. When I testified in December myself, he was really on top of things and understood the issue. Last night, I did learn a few things. For one, there was a good, solid discussion about the code of conduct. I know your listeners probably have no clue what I'm talking about, but it is an important issue.
So tell us more about it.
Tell us more about it. It's essentially a mechanism that would lessen the power that companies like Loblaws and Walmart would have or have right now. Right now, you see, if you're selling pies or chips to grocers, you have to pay grocers in order to do business with them. Mm. That's the unique thing in the food business that few people actually know.
So if I want to sell my product on shelves at Metro, IGA, whatever, I actually have to pay Metro and IGA to do so?
To be, quote-unquote, listed as a vendor. Yeah. And these fees have gone up significantly. And when fees go up, you tend to push away a lot of vendors who can afford the fees. Hmm. But in Canada, if you want to do business and be successful in processing, you got to do business with Loblaw, so you pay up. That's basically what's been happening. And so on one side, processors, manufacturers were squeezed to death, have been squeezed to death. And on the other hand, independent grocers have no chance to get good prices to support their business. So that's what's been happening the last several years, and that's why the code of conduct would be a safe place for everyone to go if there's a dispute of any sort.
So do you think the big chains will ever let that happen?
Well, that's what I learned last night. I learned that Michael Medline from Sobeys dearly supports the concept, but I don't think it's the case for Loblaws and Metro. I actually think they have some concerns. They didn't endorse the code of conduct, which really to me was a bit of a concern. I was a bit surprised because according to Minister of Ag, Mme. Bibeau, and Mr. Lamontagne, your Minister of Ag in Quebec, they both said everyone's on board, everyone's endorsing. That's not what I heard last night.
And what about, at the end of the day, the big chain said, hey, what about Walmart and Costco? And I understand that they will be invited eventually as well. But how major are these two players in Canadian food distribution and wholesale?
They sell for over $40 billion worth of food now.
So that's a lot.
I think
right?
They matter. In fact, I would argue that Loblaw's business model was heavily influenced by Walmart's arrival in 1994. And I would argue, because they're American-owned companies, both Costco and Walmart, they'll be going to Ottawa and they will not apologize for profits. In fact, I'm looking forward to see their faces when they hear the term excessive profit. What does that mean?
Well, exactly.
Seriously.
I actually, when I heard Jagmeet Singh say that, I mean, a lot of us, you know, we have retirement plans and RRSPs and all of that. We invest. So we like profits, right? You know, we kind of, in a capitalist system, we kind of benefit also by profits. So ultimately the question, Sylvain, becomes, okay, was this nothing more than just political grandstanding? Is just a political exercise, or is there something that will come out of these hearings that could possibly help us, the consumer?
Well, I don't think the session last night moved the needle on public opinion. 80% of Canadians yesterday believed that grocers are gouging them.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, if you run a poll, it's probably going to be around 80% as well. People will believe what they want to believe, even if they don't read financial statements, even if they don't understand supply chain economics. But last night's session, when Galen Weston said to Jagmeet Singh that profits don't come to me, that was really embarrassing. I mean, seriously, it was a tutorial you would give to an undergraduate economics student. I mean, seriously, it was very. I'm hoping that at some point the narrative will shift a little bit towards good solutions like the code. The big problem that we have in Canada is that we don't have an attractive market to invest in. And that's why companies like Aldi and Lidl have stayed on the sidelines for a long time, because they can't see how they can make money in Canada, because, frankly, it's a large country with many interprovincial barriers. We have a huge, heavy fiscal regime. Our labor laws are insane. It's impossible to do business in Canada. That's why Target came in and left almost as quickly. Nordstrom left last week. We lost Lowe's. We lost Sears. It's tough to do business in Canada. And I think the number one mandate that Canada should give itself is to how to make Canada more competitive and more appealing.
And any answers to that question, Sylvain?
Well, the code is going to help.
Okay.
I think it's going to. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's communist-esque sort of policy." I don't think it is. Actually, I think it's going to help. The UK has had a code since 2014, and it has helped. The Competition Act needs to change. In Canada, what's funny about Canada is that we loathe the monopolies and oligopolies, but many of them are actually policy-induced. You know, and we don't have a watchdog like in the U.S. The Americans hate monopolies and oligopolies. It's pretty clear, and they want competition. Their relationship with the concept of competition is pretty darn clear. In Canada, it's fuzzy. We need to commit to competition. We need to understand. We need some consensus around what competition actually means, and that's what the grocery business needs.
All right, Sylvain, thank you so much. Always interesting, always insightful. Thank you for your time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dr. Sylvain CHARLEBOIS, Senior Director at the Agri-Food Analytics Lab and Professor at the Faculty of Management and Agriculture at Dalhousie University.